Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Making Moves. I'm here with one of my favorite people ever, Miss Emily June.
Hey, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. I made Emily get up at the ass crack of dawn to come record with me, so I'm very grateful.
I'm a morning person, and
You are?
I'm kind of still on East Coast time.
That's good.
So it's perfect.
Oh,
I'd
amazing.
rather be up early and do it early, so we're good.
So I've known Emily for quite some time, but we just met for the first time in real life, which is bananas. Like, we can't believe it. How long ago? Like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, like 4th of July weekend. But I feel like I've known you. Like, when I saw you, I was like, it's so good to see you. And then it hit me after. I was like, I think that was my first time meeting TK. But we've been online friends for quite some time.
Yeah.
So.
It's crazy because I feel like I genuinely know you versus like just me following you on the internet. Like, I'm like, no, I know you.
Yeah.
Like,
we FaceTime. We FaceTime.
Okay, so Emily, tell the world, I guess, for someone that doesn't know who you are, give us a little like elevator pitch. Tell us, who is Emily June?
So I am I guess like OG beauty YouTuber.
Yes.
I kind of stopped working in that space, and I now have my own beauty brand called 20s. It's a skincare brand. And what else? I'm from New York. I am supposed to be visiting LA, but honestly, like, New York is not really it right now, so I might be moving back. But yeah, I just work in beauty, have my own beauty brand.
Okay.
All that stuff.
Love it. We'll get into your beauty brand later because it's like my favorite thing in the world.
Thank you.
The product that you guys sell. But I have this theory, I just have to tell you. I have this theory that you and Lexi are like starting a new wave of like the cool girl moves to LA. Like, you know how it was?
Ooh.
You know how it was back in the day?
Yeah.
When everyone and their mother, when they were 18, like moved to LA, and everyone was like not really popping off yet, but they were like starting to with their YouTube channels. And then like I feel like with TikTok, New York became that bitch because of like, you know, the outfit outside TikToks.
Right.
Of course, you were TikToking in New York, like all the things. And then there's like a lot of well-known New York TikTokers, I feel like. And now you guys are like bringing it back to LA. And I really appreciate that because I live in LA.
Yeah, it's crazy because I never thought, like, if you told me in June that I would even consider moving to LA, I would be like, you are out of your mind. Never. But I don't know what it is. Like, we also spent the pandemic in New York, and I don't know how to describe that to anyone that wasn't in New York City during the pandemic, but it was so isolating. I was in my apartment for like a year straight. So was Lexi. And
Which
she
is
kind
so
of
small compared to LA apartments.
Yeah, like no space.
No light.
No natural lighting. I like get outside and I'm like, oh my God. So I think that we both just like had enough of New York for now. New York is a really special place and it will always be home for me, but it's really fun. We kind of call ourselves like a content house as a joke. Because we're like, okay, let's get to TikToking today.
Wait, please invite me over so I can make a TikTok in the kitchen with the
Please come
window.
over.
Yeah.
So we just joke that we're like a content house now, and we're like always on TikTok, and we're just having fun. And we're a little bit older than we were when we first came when we were 18. So I feel like we have, you know, a better sense of self. It's a bit different this time around. So if I did officially move back, I feel like it would be a bit better.
Yeah. What a cool experience to, I guess I want to explain that you lived here before for a while.
Yeah.
And then you moved. Can you explain that?
Yeah. So I moved here right after high school and I went to FITM. FITM girlies. Hey, FITM.
Hey, FITM, baby.
Love you. I went there and I lived here. That was like 2013 to 2015. And then I moved back to New York, worked for a little bit, moved back here for FITM, and was here for another year. Yeah, to get my bachelor's.
Which was what you study?
So my first major was beauty industry merchandising and marketing. And then I came back and I did my advanced associates in beauty industry management. And then my last year of my bachelor's, I did online from New York in business management.
Oh, I didn't know you did that from online.
Don't recommend.
Oh, okay.
It was like accounting, and I was like in Starbucks.
No.
On the Upper East Side with like people screaming, and I'm like, this is not, I feel like I'm not retaining this information, but we got it done. So yeah, I was super young both of those times. And, you know, like when you're 18 and you move here, I'm sure you know, because you did the same thing. It's just a little bit different. Now I'm 27 and, I have a little bit of life experience. So I feel like this time around, it'll be different.
Why did you decide to go to FITM when you had like FIT and the new school in Parsons and stuff in your backyard?
So I was a YouTuber, and it was like that time when everyone was moving to LA. It was kind of like the first summer, the way that it lined up. So I just had to move to LA, and it was like my dream. I would like come to LA when I was in high school and pose on Rodeo Drive with my dad.
Iconic.
It was my absolute dream to live here. Yeah.
Melrose.
Yeah. Pink Wall wasn't even a thing yet. It was like me on Rodeo, like
vintage
posting Facebook albums. But yeah, I always wanted to live here, and I thought it would be a good way to see if I liked it instead of moving here after college. So yeah.
What are your favorite things about New York and LA now that you're a little older? You've experienced both. Give me the pros and cons of both. For someone that's, they're in the Midwest, they're deciding which one to go to.
I think that, I used to hate LA, like used to as in a couple months ago. I was like, I hate LA. I'll never live there.
When you were a New Yorker.
Yes.
Okay.
But now I feel like I have a good sort of fair view on the two. New York, I'm very lucky because my family is on Long Island. So I had a very nice New York City experience where I could escape on the weekends and be at the beach or be with my family. So keep that in mind when I explain the pros and cons. But New York is great. You really have to work hard to live there, which puts you around really just passionate, dedicated people. They know how to work. There's so many great restaurants, so many great little pockets and neighborhoods, which LA has as well. But New York, I guess, has a bit more, I don't want to say culture because I don't think I experienced LA, all of that yet. But for someone that's like young and trying to figure it out, I feel like New York is kind of a city that's easier to navigate because you have the subways. I don't drive, so that's where LA is a little tricky for me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. New York is just incredible, It
is. It really is.
But you have to be willing to work really hard to live there and maybe have a couple jobs at a time and things like that. LA, the weather, you can't beat it. I love the beach here. I have amazing friends here. I think that it's really inspiring here. Whenever I'm here or around certain people, I want to just work really hard, chase my dreams. Like, as corny as that sounds, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think what else. I think both places have good food. I really think it's what you make of both the cities because you could easily be in either one, and I have been, where I'm depressed and isolated and I don't enjoy it. So I think it's what you make of it,
Totally.
But I wish everyone could get a chance to try the two.
Yeah, I've always toyed around with the idea in my head of moving to New York for a year or a month or something because I've never done that. But we'll see. Well, maybe I could see it happening
maybe
one day. Well, maybe one day. Not now, but yeah. Okay, question about being alone and depressed in a huge city, because I feel like that's very normal. We've all been there. To the girl that, just moved to a big city, has no friends, seeing everyone on Instagram right now, literally having the best summer of their life. She's like, this sucks. I'm alone. I hate my roommate, whatever the case is. What would you tell her?
I've definitely been that girl multiple times.
Me too.
I think it's important to take the time for yourself that you need because you could easily just go out and distract yourself. There's two ways to deal with depression, I think, and one is going out and distracting yourself, and that's just putting a Band-Aid on it. And then the other side of it is just isolating, and that's putting a Band-Aid on it as well. So I think that you just have to take baby steps. Maybe I think we all have that one or two friends that are just they don't drain your social battery, and it doesn't really take any effort to hang out with them. For me, that's Drew and Lexi. Drew could pick me up, and especially when I'm going through something, we could just sit and talk or go to a movie, and it's no effort. So if you have one or two people like that and you can do something with them a couple times a week, even if it's just go to the movie, have a beach day, even if they come over and cook with you.
And you don't feel like you have to turn it on.
Right. So if you could slowly incorporate little things like that, and then eventually I think your mind will realize that you feel better after being around people and doing things. And yeah, maybe also just like giving yourself a little bit of a push to
Yeah.
go to that event or go to that party, and maybe you'll surprise yourself and see that it's not that bad.
I'm definitely the type of person where isolating does not help me. I like need to get out, need to try the new workout class, need to whatever, just because I don't know. That's just how I work best. But some people do, respond well to isolating. So I think it's just like trying both, I would say.
I isolate for sure.
Really?
For months.
Yeah.
It's bad. The other day, Lexi was like, so what do you do when you like go
hibernate
through things? And I don't even know. But just the thought of doing anything or like going out seems so draining. But then once I do it, once I do it, I'm like, oh, I'm okay.
Also, with making friends, I feel like that's something I really admire about you. You're really good about making friends.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you're very, not only good at like keeping the old ones, which I really respect because it's freaking hard to do. Like when you're in different cities, it's hard. But also, you're really good at making new friends. And like, I don't know, the vibe you give off is just like, it's just so good. It's good energy and it's like not overbearing. And I just think you do it in a very good way.
That's funny you say that because that's like one of my insecurities. I'm like, I don't think I'm good at meeting new people.
I think you're great at it. Well, I feel like I can say that though because the way you approached it with me, I was like, oh my God, like I love this girl. But it was like almost, it wasn't too much at first. And like, I could tell you were actually like, wanted to be friends. It wasn't just like, oh, I don't know. The way you like presented yourself was like so perfectly perfect.
That's so sweet. I think the same about you. And isn't it crazy how we get in our own heads? I'm like, I feel like maybe I come off the wrong way or I'm like not nice enough. So
no, I get it. I get that. But I was thinking like last night, I was like coming up with topics to talk about because normally I like to brainstorm my guests. I'm like, what do I genuinely find interesting about them? And I was like, Emily June, I was like, how does this bitch have every friend in the book? Like, how does she know everyone? How does she get to know them? Like, she's familiar with the old friends. She's still good friends with them. And then also, like, I think it says a lot when you keep the old and you can also make new. Like, that's a really hard thing to do. So I guess my question is, how the heck do you do that? And like, how do you approach meeting new friends in a new city when you know no one?
I think it's super important to go, I don't know. LA is a little bit tricky because there's certain crowds and types of people that are not very open to meeting new people. So no matter how much you try or, how nice you are, sometimes people are just like, nope, like I have my squad or like you're not like whatever. So I've met a lot of friends actually since I've been here over the last couple of weeks. And I think that you just have to go to the parties, go to the dinners. It does just happen naturally, but I just try to be like a good, decent person. And then you're going to attract those people. And then just me and Lexi have been hosting, like, we had a little game night and cute. People came over that I didn't really know as well. Please, let's do something. Yes. Things like that.
I would love to.
Where it's not like you're going out really to parties and bars all the time, but you're maybe having small hangouts when you can really talk and get to know someone. At the game night, I had a conversation with this girl, Mel, who I met briefly a couple years ago, but we had a really good conversation. And I was like, I love this girl. Like, and I felt so good after that hangout. So just, make cute little plans and invite people from different friend groups. And then eventually, like through all the mutual friends, you can kind of see who you gravitate towards. And because you're not going to be super close with everybody, but there's definitely, people in different circles that you're going to gravitate towards.
Totally. I feel like I'm always blown away, especially when I meet internet friends, like how much I guess more to them, like I had no idea about, which like, it makes sense because I don't share my entire life. But I don't know. I feel like, especially with like Lexi, for instance, when I met her, I was like, whoa, there's like so much you don't share on the internet that I like have the privilege of like enjoying right now. And I don't know. I think that's a really cool thing about internet friends too, is like you you can only see what they post.
Yeah. And you can also make so many friends through TikTok and through Instagram. I've made so many. Like, even if we don't live in the same place right now, there's so many people that like.
Well, that was us.
That was us. Yeah. Or, Coffee Bay, Vivian, she has a TikTok called Coffee Bay. She lives in Boston, but like she's one of my really good friends.
Love.
And whenever she comes to New York, I'll see her. So use Instagram and TikTok too.
Well, I was going to ask, you're like the queen of that. How do you make it not weird? Because I feel like sometimes people, when the person like you asks to hang out, they're either weird or the person asking to hang out is being weird. Like, how do you make it not weird?
Just finding people that you have some common ground with. And for example, Vivian, like I mentioned, she has a small business. So when we meet up, it's so natural and we can help each other and talk about that. Things like that. So just finding people that you feel like you would vibe with, because of course anyone on Instagram and TikTok, it's not going to be weird. And sometimes it's never really awkward, especially if you FaceTime before or you talk all the time. You feel like you know them already. So I haven't really had any other weird experiences, but
I will say it's so helpful when meeting a internet friend to like reference things to talk about, because you're like, oh my God, you got a new dog, like, or whatever, like you can talk about what they're posting. It's like the easiest thing to resort to. I always get envious of like when I go on dates with guys, because I'm like, there's so many things like you could look at that I post on the internet that you can choose to talk about. I know nothing about you.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
Meeting someone for the first time and being like, I know how you organize your kitchen.
Yeah, literally. Or I know you got in a fight with your husband last night.
Yeah.
Because you posted about it.
How's that going?
Yeah. Exactly. So, okay, I guess what's the current status with LA? Are you going to move here? Tell me, give us the 411.
I'm here for August.
Okay.
Well, I actually haven't been to LA since 2019.
Holy
and then
shit.
I came in July for 4th of July weekend because I was going through something and I was like, I need to get out of New York. So I came for 4th of July weekend, had the best time, extended my trip for a week, and then
that's when I saw her.
That's when we met. And then my friend Tyra was moving or going to New York for August, and she lives with Lexi. So we just did a room swap basically. So she's at mine.
Yeah, I love her.
I'm at hers.
She's so nice.
Love her. And then I'm going to stay through September as well. And then in September, I'm going to figure out work, if this is something that I really want. I think it is. Everyone's telling me, they're like, you look like you're having the best time. And I really am. Like, I feel really happy here. So we'll see. If I did move, it would probably be for a year for now.
Okay. I think that's a good way to look at things is like, it's temporary. It can change. That's fine. But like, go for it and we'll see if it works out.
Yeah, we'll see. I just feel like I had such a plan for, especially the beginning of this year. I was like, this is what I'm going to do. This is where I'm going to live, especially within the next couple of years. And that all kind of changed. I'm like, I feel like I have a clean slate, which is scary. Don't get me wrong. It's really terrifying, but it's exciting. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I never expected to be here though.
But how lucky are you to have such like awesome friends around you? And like,
I know.
I don't know. I feel like they've definitely, your friend group is like, what I really respect about it is like, whenever you guys go through something, I feel like the rest of their friends like show the fork up.
That's
for the
so
other.
true.
And
That's
it's
something
like, it really is cool to watch.
I love that about, especially like, I just think of Drew and Lexi. Whenever one of us is going through it, we really are just, and it's not even just like, oh, call me like if you need me. It's like,
no, you guys show up.
On my birthday this year, I was crying the whole day. Drew looked at my location on Long Island, called the restaurant, had them bring me out a cake, and he treated me and my mom to my birthday lunch because I was having,
bananas.
And I was like, oh my God. Or even Lexi was, of course, having a hard time last year, so we all would go to Virginia a couple times.
You'd go to Virgin.
We would go to Virgin. I'm like, what am I saying? We went to Virginia. Your 20s are hard.
Yeah.
So having solid friends is so important. And even my friend Alexis from home, she has been such an angel when I'm going through times like this. So, not that I'm going through anything crazy serious, but.
This episode of Making Moves is sponsored by Wireframe, an original podcast from Adobe. This season of Wireframe is geared towards small business owners who handle all the branding, content design, and social on their own for their business. Each episode features one small business owner. We pair them with a mentor who has built their own successful brand, and then a designer to help them execute a plan to solve their problem. Mentors this season include Chris Dew, Courtney Quinn, aka Color Me Courtney, Phil Wing of Wong Fu, Hilton Carter, Ellen Marie Bennett, and Deja Fox. Some awesome designers that they have include Shessa Garbert, Elaine Lopez, Brandon Gross, and Kyle Webster. You guys, this podcast is so insightful. I definitely recommend. This season features episodes like a realtor learning how to make engaging educational content for home buyers on Instagram and TikTok, a coffee startup learning how to share their founder story and add more personality to their content, and a content creator learning how to use color on his website to tell his story and move merchandise. For all of you business-minded folks out there, I definitely recommend taking a listen to this podcast, Wireframe, because you will learn so much from the people on the podcast. I personally loved listening to the Wireframe episode where they talk about if an app can actually help you sleep. I love listening to different apps to help me sleep, like rain sounds, city sounds, things like that. I really wanted to see the science behind it and learn more about the sleep aid market because it's literally a multi-billion-dollar industry. So I just want to learn more about it. So I definitely recommend listening to that one because there was so much information that I never thought I would learn. Search for Wireframe in your podcast player. We will also include a link in the show notes. Thanks so much to Wireframe for their support. But speaking of 20s, let's talk about your brand. I love the name. Why the heck did you come up with it?
So when I was in FITM my last year, I started getting really bad acne and I started getting into sort of clean beauty and just, upgrading my skincare routine. But I kind of didn't know what to do because there's so much information all over the internet. It's like one place is saying this, they're saying this. So I was like, if I'm so involved in beauty and working in beauty and I'm even struggling to find just like a really easy to understand brand and product, then what is it like for anybody who's struggling with acne or wants to take care of their skin and, they don't have that beauty background. So I named it 20s because I wanted to make it affordable and approachable. And I feel like the $20 price range, it's not affordable for everybody, but it's fair for what you're getting.
I mean, it's very, very affordable for a large mass of people.
Yes.
I mean, I can't even think of hardly any skincare brands in Sephora that sell under 20 or 20s in the 20s.
Right.
It's crazy. Yeah, I think it's amazing price.
Thank you. So I wanted to make it fair price so that, people who are starting their skincare routines and sort of getting into self-care for the first time, they could afford it. And then also just make it really easy to use and understand. And the target demographic, of course, is people in their 20s. Of course, anybody could use it. But yeah, that's kind of why I named it that.
And how did the name come about though? Was it something you always thought of? Did you and your friends have a weird brainstorm session one day? How did this come to fruition?
So I had a creativity and business class in FITM during my last year when I was working online, and I had the concept for the brand. I can't remember what I had it named first, but right after I submitted it, it was like a 10-week, FITM is 10-week long quarters. Yeah. So I basically worked on the business plan over the course of 10 weeks. And then at the end of it, I submitted it and I was like, oh, let me just call it 20s. It kind of just clicked one night randomly. And then I started, going through with the trademark and stuff. But
slay.
Yeah, it came to me through a class project.
I love how much of a FITM stan you are.
Hi, FITM.
And you think FITM was worth it?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
FITM's what you make of it. You could go and dilly-dally and then do whatever. True. You have to put effort into your work and get internships and take advantage of the resources. So it's worth it if you want it to be. How'd
you get internships when you were there?
So I actually didn't intern my first 2 years because I was on YouTube, which I do regret.
Really?
I mean,
why?
Just because I graduated and I didn't have any work experience besides YouTube. And I was like, ooh.
Oh.
So
that's so interesting because I feel the opposite. I'm like, TK, why didn't you start your YouTube channel
Right.
earlier? You know, I mean, I guess the grass is always greener on the other side, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's definitely pros and cons to both. But I found my internships. My first internship was Tula. I found it through Craigslist. And
I'm sorry, I have to interject. Emily put Tula on the map. I had no one knew what Tula was. Like, no tea, no shade towards Tula. We stand. But like the fact that this is like a household name brand, like people know it everywhere, is literally because of you. Sorry, I'm saying it.
Thank you for saying that, because sometimes
like anytime anyone posts, I'm like, Emily Joan, like literally.
Yeah, I basically started their like whole influencer program.
Yes, continue. Sorry, I interrupted, but like I had to.
No, it's all good. So they basically hired me on because I had a YouTube background, and that was the only job I could get. I applied to like 40 jobs and internships in New York. That was the only one I can get.
And it was, you just found it on Craigslist and called or emailed or what?
I emailed, and they were like, yeah, 10 hours a week, unpaid. And I was like, great.
You're like, oh my God, this is great. Like, you know what? You got to do it though.
And then, of course, they eventually hired me on. But that I found through Craigslist. Milk Makeup, I interned there. I met them through just like I knew the influencer and partnerships girl. So using my network has been a really great tool over the past couple of years. I've never really gotten a job just through traditional like LinkedIn.
I would love to know who has. Actually,
I don't know anyone.
I genuinely don't. I don't think I know anyone that's gotten it through like LinkedIn or the application process. Actually.
It's all about who you know. Use your network.
It is.
Yeah.
And I keep trying to tell myself this, like, don't be afraid to ask someone to introduce you. Because the worst that they can say is like, you know what, no, like I don't feel comfortable. And that's totally okay for someone. If someone asks me and I don't feel comfortable, that's totally okay for me to be like, listen, I love you. I think you're a great candidate. I don't feel comfortable right now. If the opportunity arises, yes, I would love to help connect you. Right. But that's something I'm trying to get myself to say more is like, hey, do you mind introducing me or introing me to blah, blah, blah? Because it's just like a snowball effect. It's like, of course, I'll introduce you to so-and-so. Like, I'll rub your back, you rub mine kind of thing.
And people want to help.
Yeah.
It feels really good to help and connect people.
No one wants to give a bad recommendation. No one wants to be that person. Right. They always want to help, give a good recommendation.
Yeah. So what was I saying? Oh, Milk Makeup I met through someone I knew, and then the FITM job board as well is how I found a couple of my little jobs and internships.
Okay.
But my resume is kind of random and crazy.
So how did 20s become an actual thing? Because I know you came up with the brand name while you were at FITM, then you moved back to New York, and like, this was a long process. So can you kind of explain the process of it? Because you have worked your ass off for this brand.
Yeah, it was a super long process.
And you went through like a bunch of shit.
Yeah. Ooh. Let me think. So that was 2018, the project. And then over the course of the next year, so like through 2019, I slowly just started working on the product development. I did product development consulting as my job during that time. So I knew vendors, I knew labs, how to price things. Of course, you're never going to know everything when you start a business, which is really painful because there's a lot of mistakes and just a lot of things to figure out. But I worked on it for about a year, and then I was ready to launch right before the pandemic started. And then my manufacturer went bankrupt, and they have a huge amount of my startup budget.
Stop.
Yeah, still. And I'm just probably never going to get that back.
Stop. No.
It was dark. It was dark. I cried a lot.
Because they can't pay you. They don't have the money. No. Can you sue them?
I could, but with lawyer fees.
Oh, okay. It's just not even worth it. Yeah.
But that was a huge lesson. An expensive lesson.
So what's the lesson, though? What would you have done differently?
I had this feeling. I'm not going to lie. I had a feeling.
Gut intuition.
I think I was rushing it. I really just wanted to find a manufacturer and get it going.
Whoa.
And I found this small manufacturer in LA. So we're near.
Oh, that's why we're a little bitter about LA.
They were just, that's where it comes from. They were just sort of rushing the process. And, I did trust them a little bit. But of course, I was like, maybe I'm just nervous that I'm putting so much money into this. And it's just nerves, not my gut feeling.
Oh.
So the lesson was to do more research on your manufacturers and to sign contracts. And
like, if you don't deliver A, B, and C, I get my money, blah, blah, blah.
And also just, I guess, a lesson of how to problem solve.
Okay.
Which I had to do. And I had to restart the entire product development process of the cleansing balm. Yeah, because I couldn't use that formula.
No.
So what happened was, and weirdly enough, I was talking about it in a vlog because I started vlogging again during the pandemic.
Thank God.
Which I don't really do anymore.
Emily June saved us during the pandemic. Yeah, you should.
I know.
Whatever, we'll get to that. But
we'll get to that. So I was kind of talking about it on a vlog, and this girl emailed me, and she was like, I have been watching you for so many years. I work at a raw material supplier.
Get out.
And I know a really great lab that I think you should work with. And so
this is why I love the internet.
Yeah, so she put me in touch with them. I called the guy. He was like, I'll be honest, like, we work with bigger brands and like Sephora and stuff, but like, I'm willing to give you a shot.
Stop.
And I think that's why my cleansing balm is so good, because it's with a really, really great manufacturer that does a lot of my other favorite skincare brands. So they did me a favor. And so that whole process sort of took like 2.5 years. It could have been a year, but
everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason, I guess.
Yeah.
And so we ended up making a better product, and then I launched it July 2021. So it was definitely a couple years of just baby steps. I was also working during that time. It wasn't my full-time job. It wasn't like a legit startup where I had a team. It was really just me and freelancers.
Well, you must be blending your chia seeds now because your gut intuition's pretty good now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I love that TikTok.
I know. I love when they're like, oh, so then you blend your chia seeds, and then it's like a college girl like throwing up. Like,
do I look like I'm blending my chia seeds? So
it's funny because like I relate. I'm like, who blends their chia seeds? Like, I mean, kudos to you that do, but like, I just don't have time to do that. I don't think. No. When I'm blending my chia seeds, just know my life is good.
Just know I'm thriving.
Or I'm going crazy.
Yeah, either one. Like, I might be going through it if I'm blending my chia seeds. Yeah.
Okay, so you now have this product. Talk a little bit about the cleansing balm, because it's like my favorite thing in the world.
Thank you. So it's called Up and Away, and I wanted it to be the first product because I felt like makeup wipes and like micellar water was kind of what everyone around my age was using to take off their makeup. And I was like, you guys, like, I want to put you onto cleansing balms, but I couldn't find one that I really liked. And also it's like just the first step in your skincare routine. So I wanted to start there. And so it's a balm, and it's made with a lot of natural waxes. So it's like sunflower and jojoba. It's oil-based, which does scare people because you think oil and you think breakouts and clogged pores. But it actually does the opposite. Like, it really helps to break down all of the oil in your skin. It breaks down makeup, SPF, so you can use it every day. It's super easy to travel with. It's in a nice little glass jar that you can reuse. I'm trying to think what else. It's fragrance-free, it's vegan, and it's $24.
And it melts your makeup off. It's crazy.
It does.
Yeah.
And it's like a really nice, it doesn't leave like a sticky residue. It rinses really clean. It turns milky.
It's so easy.
And I just wanted to craft up my dream makeup remover.
Also, it's so stinging cute. The blue? How'd you get the blue?
So the blue is basically just a bunch of plant extracts.
Wow.
So it's no synthetic color or fragrance, which was super important.
Like a little spirulina or whatever that stuff
it's like
is.
a little aloe, randomly like eggplant.
No way.
Yeah, like a couple different plant extracts.
It's giving Mariana's smoothie.
Yeah. And so, I was super picky with, basically when you go to a lab, you fill out a product brief and you're like, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. And you'll just go through a bunch of different formulas until you get what you like. And with the second lab that I found, we nailed it on. That was the first try.
Shut up. Wow.
It's like, this is it. And then the other lab, it was like 6 rounds.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
So when you say cleansing balm, could someone hypothetically use this just as their cleanser? because I use it as my makeup remover and I like double cleanse, but I'm like, I don't even really know what I'm saying when I say that. I'm like, I guess I do that and then I do the cleanser over top. But some people, I don't know. I watched a YouTube video the other day and someone was just using a cleansing balm as their like cleanser. And I was like, whoa. Is that a thing? No.
So you definitely want to use two.
Okay.
Because the cleansing balm is oil based. So you want to follow up with another cleanser to actually like wash your skin. This double cleansing comes from Korean skincare. So it's super popular there. And then over the last couple of years, it's become more popular over here and sort of on Instagram and YouTube. But you definitely want to wash off the oil.
Okay.
So that, you don't clog your pores or anything. But
okay, that's what I thought. But
oil
I saw someone do
attracts
this.
oil. So when you're using a cleansing balm, you're removing makeup and SPF. Your water-based or like cream cleanser can't do that as well.
Copy.
So it's a really good way to, and at first, like when I had acne, I was so scared to use a cleansing balm or oil, but it's crazy how once you start using it and double cleansing, how your skin looks and feels.
Speaking of acne, what was the best thing that helped you clear it? Because your skin's like unreal.
Thank you. I had cystic acne all through here for so many years. It's a pain. Definitely. I was very anti-dermatologist for a bit. Go get your tretinoin, clindamycin. That
Get
helps.
your spironolactone.
Yeah, go get it. I was on that and birth control for a while, but once I got off of it is when my skin was the worst. Not to scare you.
Wait, once you went off the birth control?
Yes.
And see, I was on spironolactone and birth control and another small dose of something, but I stopped taking it because I was like, let me try, and it just went bananas. Like now I'm finally getting back to my normal skin.
Your skin looks amazing.
Thank you. But like I'm not kidding you. I felt so insecure. I didn't want to die, but like
you don't want to do anything. Acne is
it's so I've never been more like insecure from anything in my life other than acne. I don't know. And so go to your dermatologist.
Yeah, go to your dermatologist, but also be open to, because sometimes dermatologists will be like, oh, here's this medication, do this.
Go on Accutane or whatever.
Go on Accutane. But a lot of times there's something else going on in the body. For me, my hormones were just off and I realized I have like mild PCOS. And so there's different things that I can do and take, like supplements, making sure I'm taking a probiotic.
Got it.
Watching certain things that I eat. But that side is tricky as well because then it becomes obsessive. I've had obsessive phases where I wouldn't eat anything and only eat like raw natural foods, and I'm like, the stress is making it worse.
Yeah.
So definitely try to see both sides. Go to the derm, maybe get a nice topical, have a simple skincare routine. Don't overdo it. It's so easy to overdo it. Maybe get like a facial a couple times a year.
I will say, if you can afford it, like getting a facial as often as I can, like truly helps. Just them doing the extractions and like all the stuff, it really does help my skin personally.
Yeah, my last job that I just quit like a month ago was at a facial spot.
No way.
So I had $5 facials, which I'm kind of missing. But
no wonder your skin's so good.
Yeah, I've been a little lucky. But yeah, just like tap into the different things.
Okay.
It's easy to just get obsessive or like depend on one side, but your body is so incredible of showing you that something's off or going on. It might even be like when I'm super textured up here, it's because I've had like way too much sugar.
Oh.
So I think food plays into it. Skin is tricky though.
Yeah. Also was tricky too during the panty, like when I would go to the gym and wearing the mask, and then I was like, okay, is this from the sweat and the mask? And, there's a bunch of things that play into it. So I agree. Like, try everything.
Yeah, the mask knee was dark.
Yeah. Also, I think everyone likes to tell you what to do with your skin, and, like, everyone's skin's different. So what someone told me once, like, does not work well for me.
Right. So you just have to, it's kind of just like testing the waters and seeing what's going on.
Yeah.
But it's tricky.
So what, I guess, moves are you making right now in regards to 20s? Are you trying to expand the product line? Because, like, your girl would like some more.
Yes. Skincare is so expensive to make and it takes such a long time. But right now I'm working on the next thing and hopefully we'll have something soon. But it is such a long process. You don't want to just slap your name on a bottle and put something out there. So hopefully with that we'll have something soon. And I would love to do more merch and stuff with the brand.
Oh my God, I would love.
Would love a tote or like a crew neck or something.
Cute.
Yeah,
That would be so cute.
Or a makeup bag. I'm gonna play around
I
and
love
see.
the makeup bag idea. I feel like not many people do that.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Finding a good supplier and stuff is
brutal.
A little hard.
It actually is so hard. I mean, I know from like just working with Alicia and watching her with, first of all, her merch, but also like Parallel. It's really, really, really hard to find good fabrics, good suppliers, inclusive, like all the things. And you want to consider everything. And it's expensive to find all of the things.
And then if you want to make a certain quantity, the pricing, there's a lot of different things to figure out. Yeah. So, of course, I also switched the logo and sort of a little bit of the branding with 20s a couple months ago. So I wanted to make the overlap. The next product would be new branding. So I'm kind of trying to just go through the cleansing balms right now. Eventually change that packaging so the overlap isn't as drastic.
Okay, that's smart.
So, yeah.
Yeah. With your current cleansing balm, who the heck is like shipping, packaging, taking all the orders? Is that all you?
It was until like last week.
Wow.
So it was me. And
how much of your time does that take?
Definitely like, I would pick a couple days or like 2 days a week to sort of do that. And it would take a couple hours for sure. But
what do you mean? You always got my shit to me so quick when I would order.
Yeah, so I would just like print the labels and then,
You're like Speedy Gonzalez. I would be like,
I'm
whoa,
over there.
Here?
It's like 11 o'clock at night. I'm packing orders. I'm walking to the post office with like an IKEA bag. But as of last week, I now have a fulfillment center. So it's not on me. Thank you.
That's a huge step. Is that expensive?
It's not. I found this really great platform. I'll tell you about them because maybe you'd be interested in working with them in some way. But it's actually cheaper because I had a storage unit on Long Island. Oh. And then like shipping the way that my shipping was going. Yeah. And my time. I now have so much more time to do other things, which is so exciting. But it's actually less expensive. And I'm thinking, why didn't I do this a couple months ago? I don't know.
Yeah. But, I mean, you live and you learn.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about using influencer marketing for your brand. What was your game plan? I know you have a plethora of friends who have a plethora of followers. Did you see a big return with people posting? Just tell me a little bit about everything because I know how much that can really help a business or make or break a business, honestly.
So at first, I honestly didn't really have a plan. I was kind of just compiled a list of people that I was friends with and gifted to them. That really helped with just brand awareness and followers and things like that. Like when a certain friend will post, I'll see the numbers go up.
Sorry to interrupt, but like what's your approach with gifting? Like when it comes to PR, like do you expect to post or what? Like I want to hear your...
I don't expect anything. And because I've worked on both sides, like when I was doing Tula gifting and then me receiving things myself sometimes, I just know how it goes. So, of course, like I want someone to post if I'm going to spend the money to send it to them. But the most important thing is that if they really like it, they'll post when they open the package. But if they really like it, they'll post about it in a vlog or like they're like, oh, I'm actually really loving this in a favorites video or a favorites TikTok or things like that. And I find those authentic sort of posts are what really do it rather than just getting that unboxing clip.
Yeah. Or like a photo tagging. Yeah.
Right. So as far as the approach, it was really just gifting. And then I check in to see how people are liking it. Of course, if it's my friends, I don't really do that. But I had over the year a couple of interns who will sort of manage finding people that are outside of my circle and outside of my friend group, like the beauty TikTokers, the wellness girlies, and sort of gifting through there. And I've found that that has helped find customers and find an audience that's outside of people that just would follow the brand because of me, which ideally is what I want. I want it to be able to live on its own and be its own thing without me.
Which I feel like you've done a great job like doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah. You've done a fabulous job doing that.
Thank you.
I mean, of course I connect the two, but I like see it for its own brand without you, like living on its own.
Thank you.
Which is great. Do you, I guess this is just like a selfish question in regards to like posting as a brand, like what do you feel like sells the most shit for you? I mean, I know you kind of said it, including in like natural integration, but would you say like in a vlog or in that TikTok video, that's like what performs best for you?
Definitely in a vlog.
In a vlog. Okay.
TikTok is tricky because it's so short.
It is.
And sometimes, especially with skincare, TikTokers, they're posting so much skincare. So actually what I found is finding someone like you, for example, of course, you have beauty and people trust like your opinion with products, but you're not posting skincare 24/7. Yeah. So just like finding creators or influencers who aren't all beauty or all skincare and how they like show it just in their everyday routine or things like that. Because if you're going on someone's TikTok and they're like, this is my favorite cleanser today, the next day it's this, the next day it's something else, then what do you trust? So
I will agree. That makes it livable. Like when you're like, whoa, like Miss Remy Ashton uses this like and brings it on vacation. Like that's crazy.
Remy's such an angel. She put the product in her like small business of the day.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. I can't. That was like one of the best day in sales.
She's a beast. Yeah.
It was insane. It's like Remy's putting me to work. I was like up late packing.
I will say when we went to Vegas, I vividly remember this. We went to Vegas for Life is Beautiful and everyone seemed to forget their freaking makeup remover and like their wipes or whatever. And it was like me, Alicia, Remy, and then my friend Libby. And everyone was trying 20s.
Oh, that's so funny.
And they were like, this shit's so good. I'm like, I gotta order more. I don't think I've ever gone through genuinely a beauty product more than yours. Like finished empties in the empties video. Like the amount of times I've emptied it. I mean, the only thing I think I've emptied more is like Crest toothpaste. Actually, it's crazy.
That's really sweet. And it's so nice when people repurchase or like they buy two. Like sometimes people will buy like 2 to 4 at a time. No,
that's what I do.
And I'm like,
crazy.
Wow, what an honor. But I'll hook you up with some more.
No, I love it.
Yes.
Okay, so you will say, back to the influencer stuff, that's what helps the most, is a vlog mention.
I would say a vlog.
Even if they don't link it, it's just like a mention? Or do you think linking really?
Linking definitely helps. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, sometimes like people will post reels and use it through that, and maybe it's just like 1 or 2 products in the reel. So that really helps. But when it's multiple products like constantly from someone, then I don't really see that that does as well. But TikTok is crazy. I definitely have to take advantage of TikTok more with the brand, which is something
my gosh, you should.
That I need to work on.
You need to do your silly stuff on your brand account.
Yes. Yeah. Because right now I don't really do the TikTok. I have interns that will do that. But I am, if you know anyone or if anyone watching, I need a fall social intern.
Ooh, okay.
So preferably like a student.
This is the place to say it.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Student,
manifest the shit.
Someone really good, wants to create content, reels, TikTok, all that stuff.
Word. Can they be wherever?
They can be wherever.
Okay.
And you can make your own schedule.
Love.
And it would be like a couple hours a week.
Amazing.
So let's manifest that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is the spot. Comment down below if you're interested, guys.
Yes.
Maybe I can connect you with Emily. I mean, I just think you've done such a good job making a brand, and it's so hard, and it's like I think it's very, what's the word, not honorable, what's the word, I'm very impressed with you. You know, it's not like you're this crazy company backed, you know, business. Like it's hard to start a business when you're a young female by yourself.
Yeah.
What do you feel like has been your greatest struggle with making the business? Then we can maybe help someone that's interested in starting their own business.
So it's a lot of sacrifice. Just even the past year, I was working, like I said, at a facial spa in New York because I needed the flexibility of like being available for meetings or calls during weekdays. So I worked every Saturday over the past like year and a half. Different things like that, like the sacrifice, it's not easy. I'm sure it looks like fun. I'm sure I look like I'm having fun. But of course, like there's so many moments and times where, can I curse on here?
Yeah.
Shit hits the fan. And you have to figure it out. So it's so much problem solving. So many unexpected little things come up that you would just never think of before you start the business. So I think you're never fully prepared, but you just have to start and learn along the way. So if you want to do it, just go for it. And the worst thing that happens
Rip off the Band-Aid.
Yeah, you just learn from it and you figure it out along the way. And I'm trying to think if there's one like struggle in particular that sticks out, but I guess it's just like the constant problem solving.
Trusting your gut.
Yeah. Trusting your gut and figuring out, is it anxiety?
Yeah.
Do I know what I'm doing? And you'll meet the right people that will take you seriously. Of course, as like a young girl doing it by myself, I've had suppliers or manufacturers on the phone be like, oh, like, what do you, that's like, yeah, of course we can like try to help you. But you'll meet the right people and eventually find like partners that will sort of, you know what I'm trying to say.
Do you have any beauty brands in particular that you kind of look up to as a brand? Or you like really, I guess, appreciate the way, or, you know, respect the way that they've presented their business?
So I really, and this is kind of basic and I'm sorry, but I really think Hailey Bieber did such a good job.
Yeah.
Especially
Love
with their
her.
content. Their content is really good.
She's
a
impresses
little
me.
bit of lifestyle. It's a little bit of education and ingredients. It doesn't feel sciencey, but you know that a lot went into the formulas. So I really think that she's doing a good job. Do you know Estee Lalonde? She has a brand called Mirror Water.
Okay.
And,
what is that?
It's like a body care brand.
Oh, wow.
But I think they do a really good job on the content side.
Okay.
Of making it more of like a community and just not so product focused. Hero Cosmetics as well on TikTok.
Ooh, yeah, they've done they've really popped off with TikTok. I didn't even know about them until TikTok.
They make fun, approachable content.
Yeah.
But, you know, everyone loves their pimple patches. So I think they do a good job as well.
In regards to back to Hailey Bieber's brand Rhode, I was so impressed by their YouTube video. Did you see the YouTube video they came out with? Like a little like kind of documentary. It kind of reminded me of Parallel's video when we came out with it. And I don't know, I just felt like I already stan and like love Hailey so much, but watching her totally attack this business on her own, even though she's Hailey Bieber, is forking hard, and she did not have to do that. She could have easily used investors or like, you know, so many different types of people and things and whatever and resources that she has, which is amazing. And yes, she's privileged to have all those, you know, that network. But it just made me have like the utmost respect that she attacked it on her own. She was so particular. She didn't want to like or partner with another company to like use their formulas. She was like, I don't know. I just thought it was so awesome. And I was very impressed. And the way they did the video was awesome.
Yeah, so perfect. They have the product side down, but also the way they executed the whole thing was so good. And yeah, she could have gone to like a beauty incubator and they could have handled the whole process. But I think
you can just tell she cares.
She does care. Love her. And love the products. Have you tried the products?
I have only tried the lip one.
Okay.
The lip peptide.
The glazing fluid is really good.
Okay. I need to try it.
You should try that.
You know
as
what
well.
I will say I'm really sad about? I ordered like the whole thing and I think my package got stolen.
No.
Yeah, I know. So I'm gonna have to reorder. I've used some of my friends' lip stuff, but I ordered the kit and I know I think someone stole it. I know, it's really unfortunate. I mean, yeah. Pray for my loss. Yeah, like actually,
your Rhode package.
Exactly. Rhode, please send me something. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. I'll buy something else. But yeah, I love the packaging. It's so, you know what else I like about it is that it's very, I feel like for a younger girl that's like getting into skincare, even me, like I'm not that, I guess, I don't know that much about it, and it makes it very easy, and like it's easy to understand, and you understand the steps, and it's just like I just thought she did great. Yeah. I guess one of my last questions is back to creators, because you were one and now you're working with them with your brand. What do you think makes a great creator?
So there's this one girl who I think is just, well, I think you are incredible. No, I'm not kidding. Because you're on every platform. You're
Thank you.
posting things. Like, it's your life, but it's also so engaging. Like, I love your little polls and like your this or that. I think anyone that, you know, of course, it's sharing your life is, you know, whatever. But someone who you can like hop on and kind of just like check in. It feels like a friend.
Yeah.
Do you know Eli Rayo?
Yes.
I think she's incredible.
I love her.
So whenever I think of like
I love
a great content creator, I'm like, it's her.
Yeah.
She
posts like crazy.
She posts like crazy. She does Q&As all the time, which I love tapping through those.
I love a Q&A too.
Love those. She has her little like things that she does, whether it was like the list or like the rules.
Yes. I love the rules.
So someone that has like a consistent sort of theme or series, and someone that is just genuine. I think there's a lot of people, especially with TikTok, that are just kind of following the formula of making like aesthetic content or something, but I really like going on and feeling like I know the person.
She stands out.
And that she does stand out.
Yeah.
Now she's like writing a book.
I know.
And
yes, there's so much about her that I'm like,
you should have her on the podcast.
I should. I love her. And I love her brother too.
Her
Yeah.
brother.
They just went to the Lady Gaga
Yeah, you feel
concert.
like you know their family.
I know.
But see, exactly. And it's like if
I
she's
literally
going to
made a
recommend
jar
something.
thing.
If she's going to recommend something, and I feel like I have common ground with someone, that I'm going to be gravitated to buy it.
She also just seems really nice and like normal.
Yes, normal energy. We need more normal energy.
Yeah.
She does. And just, I like TikTok because a lot of people came up that weren't so heavy in the influencer space, and I think it's refreshing.
It is. The one thing I'm envious about Eli or other TikTokers is I'm just like, like if my only platform was TikTok, like I would be a beast at TikTok, which I don't want to say that's the reason like I could put all my time in the world towards TikTok, of course. But I guess for me, it's really challenging deciding where I devote my time.
Girl, you got a lot on your plate. I'm like, I don't know how you do it.
I'm trying to figure that out. Like, okay, if I have 3 hours right now in this day, in my head, I would rather devote that to getting a vlog up. But if I use that 3 hours to like film and edit TikToks, by all means, I'd probably be a way bigger TikToker, whatever. I don't know.
TikTok is time consuming.
It is.
And even to just know what's trending and the sounds and stuff, it's a couple hours a day.
Oh, it is. Because you have to be an active, viewer.
Right.
But I find myself scrolling on there way more than any other app.
It's addicting.
Yeah.
I'm currently like heavy in a TikTok era.
Oh my God.
Which
you've been in your TikTok era. Are you kidding me? Like you'll post something. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Saving it for later.
It's addicting.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know how you haven't like popped off more on TikTok.
That's what not to sound like that, but everyone's like,
weird.
You deserve a little bit more love on TikTok. And I agree.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
You post like not as much as Eli, but you post a lot too.
Especially since I've been here, I've been like getting them out.
We need to do a TikTok collab.
We do. That's why we're like, oh my God, we're like a little content house because we're all like making TikToks together.
No, I'm going to come over and do a TikTok in that spot.
Please.
In the kitchen. Yeah.
I would love that.
I don't know if I'll get in a bikini though.
Lexi, it'll be like a Tuesday at noon and Lexi's in a bikini TikTok.
No, it's literally you're the new swag. Yeah. Okay, so last thing, I guess, what are you doing to make moves right now other than moving to LA?
I'm trying to find some freelance work.
Okay.
So making moves. I was in a very comfortable sort of job that I was supposed to only do for a couple months over the past year, and I got too comfortable, and then I hit a wall, and I'm thinking, what am I doing? So I'm really trying to make moves in my work is the priority.
Okay, love.
Men down here, work, growing my brand, working on new products, all of that stuff. And also just remembering to have fun because it's so easy to get consumed by that.
I agree.
So I'm making moves in having a day a week where I'm going to Malibu and having a beach day with my friends.
Love.
Or having a theme night, finding balance and, enjoying the last of summer.
It makes work worth it.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, amazing. So where can everyone follow you in by 20s?
So my personal Instagram is @EmilyJune_, which I don't really use, but you can still follow,
Still follow.
And my TikTok is Emily June with 5 E's at the end. And then
Definitely
all of
follow.
the brand stuff is just @20sworld.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Emily. This has been a delight, and I just think the world of you. So thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. We'll talk to you guys soon. Follow Emily by 20s. It's the best product ever.
Thank you.
And make someone's day this week. Peace.